We've been busy in the last while with the topic Leadership for All Generations, and today recognize the use and the strengths of every generation. In the last 2 weeks, we've seen that in our society we have various generations, and we also have these generations in our own churches or in our own companies. And it's very important that we appreciate what each generation brings. What are the strengths of every generation? And when we are leaders that are able to bring together these strengths of every generation, then we can truly be a strong organization or a church. And today I have 4 thoughts about this. Firstly, appreciate what the other generation has. In Proverbs 20 verse 29 it says, "The ornament of young men is their strength, but gray hair is the adornment or the badge of honor of the aged." Every age has a special value. We help each other. It's a partnership. When I have a look at this Bible verse and then I see that those with gray hair, men with gray hair, like mine, they are people that have gathered wisdom. They've gathered life experience in their lives. And we see then the young men, the younger generation, that's the generation that have a lot of strength. And this power and this strength of their muscles together with the power of wisdom, when we can bring these together, we can have a wonderful result. When young men and women are excluded from leadership, we lose this power. And so sad when we just have wise people and no energy, but then on the other hand, when we look at the young people, how sad it is where they've got all the energy, but they are not carrying this out in a wise way. These young people have not yet learned the wisdom of caution, and that's okay. But on the other hand, they need the right goals, they need a wise word at the right moment, and if we can bring these two together, then we can get to the goal. Number 2, look less at the age when you are building your team. 1 Timothy 4 verse 12, "Don't let anyone think less of you just because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you teach, how you live, in love, in faith, and in purity." Here, Paul was speaking to Timothy, and what he was saying to this young man, we don't know exactly, but he was between 20 or 30. He was saying, be an example in what you're doing. Let them see you, but not think less of you. Be an example. And lift your head and lead, because I've given you authority. The Lord's given you authority, and you should live and lead from a life of purity. You need to qualify, he's saying, but on the other hand, he's saying, don't let anyone think less of you. I think it's very important that we work together as leaders so that the young folk find their place in the church. Over the years, we've appointed young people, very young people. The youngest one we've had in our eldership team was 25, and we did this. It wasn't without wisdom and looking at this with wisdom. We looked and saw that this person and all the others that were young that we appointed, that we made sure they were teachable. Of course, this young person isn't going to have the same wisdom as an older person, but if he is teachable, if he's prepared to go new ways and give and accept feedback in a good way, then of course there's no reason why this person cannot be appointed. And then the third thought, be respectful to each other. 1 Timothy 5 verse 1 and 2 says, never speak rudely to an older man, but appeal to him respectfully, as if he were your own father. Speak to the younger men as if they were your brothers. Treat older women as your own mother, and younger women with all purity as if they were your own sisters. I find that this Bible verse gives us a lot of tips. And we see that the summary is respect. Respect the generations that aren't your generation. Respect each other. How you deal with each other respectfully. And it's about giving tips, but what is your tone? Is there a heart relationship? It's not speaking down at somebody or as if you were commanding him something. But it's important that we communicate with each other well and that we respect each other. And in all these things, we need to celebrate the differences. How nice it is when you can go to an older person who has wisdom and good counsel, and you can get that from him. Or else you go to young people that can move things because they've got that energy that we don't have anymore. And then the last thought for today. Keep the truth of the message, but ask the younger generation to help with the packaging of it. We as Christian churches or congregations, we have one message. And this message, this gospel does not change. It hasn't changed over 2,000 years. But for every new generation who is receiving this, it needs a new packaging so that we can give this and they receive it in a relevant way, the way they'll understand it. And the younger of these generations, they've got the best ideas how one can package this and do this. Psalm 78 verse 72 says, He cared for them with a sincere heart and guided them with a wise hand. He fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and with the skill of his hands he guided them. Churches grow and remain healthy because they are led wisely and with insight. If we are wise and insightful, we will recognize the strengths of each generation and bring them together. Whether it's a church or an organization, we can really get strong. My question to you today, I have 2 questions for your homework. Number 1, are you really ready to have very young team members in your team? Be honest. Answer this question with an honest heart. And when you're not prepared to, then open your heart. Go the new way. You need young people, young members in your team. And then secondly, as a leader, are you willing to listen to the younger generation and even let them advise you in certain areas? There are areas that they are better than us, where they know more than us. We don't need to know everything, but wise people will listen to others that know more. And that's what we need to do as well. So if this is a topic that you have been working through, if you want to ask us any questions, if we can help you in any way, if you have a comment, please write to us. We would like to have your responses.